Hello parents, hello students, it's Mr. Kissinger, and today we're going to be talking about something that's a little bit more of a concept. It's a really big concept, especially in science class and in math class. And our topic is going to be about the relationship between graphs, stories, tables, and equations. And what this basically calls the four different faces of a function and how they are all interrelated and how they all basically tell the same exact story about what's going on. So we're going to, just like always, we're going to learn through some examples, and we got two examples here, and let's just dive on in. So our first one that we have is y is equal to 4x. So I'm going to write that down up here on this piece of paper here. Y is equal to 4x. Now that's my equation. And when you see that, it's just like a hidden little multiplication in there. I know y is the same as 4 times x. So what we're going to do for a table is we're going to pick some x values. We're going to pick some values, and we're going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to count by ones here. We're going to use this information here in a bit. You know what? I'm going to also pick some other numbers here, 12, 14, let's just try 20, and 25. You can pick whatever you want, but going to 10 obviously helps here. Alright, so now we're just going to, if x is 0, 4 times 0 is 0. If x is 1, 4 times 1 is 4. If x is 2, 4 times 2 is 8. X is 3, 4 times 3 is 12. And what you're going to start seeing really quickly here is that we're just skip counting by 4s. 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Here we got to 12, so be careful up at the top. Notice that we didn't keep going by ones there, so be careful. It's going to be 48. 14 is going to be, what is that, 56. 20 is 80, and 25 is 100. So when we graph that, we're going to take these points from our table, and we're going to graph our results. And let me see if I can adjust this here. So our first point was 0, 0. It might be beneficial if I zoom out. Let me do this. Apologies, everybody. So hopefully you can still see both things going on here. Alright, that's as high as I can go. My apologies, that's as high as I can go there. So, 0, 0 is our first point. 1, 4, 2, 8, 3, 12, 4, 16, 5, 20, 6, 24, and this is going to go just straight up and off of our graph here. Probably should have scaled my y-axis a little differently, so that way you could see all the points. But you get the point here. Just, let me take this away here. Now this is going to be a straight line going up. And one of the cool things that you're seeing is here we're skip counting by 4. Our equation, notice 4. And then right down here, notice that we're going up 4 over 1, up 4 over 1, up 4 over 1 every single time. And this is going to become very, very, very handy in the future grades. So just something to put away for later. Now the last thing that we have is, let's come up with a story. So, I don't know, let's try I like ice cream. Let's talk about pints of ice cream. So, Mr. K is buying pints of ice cream that are $4 each. That's my story. Now that I have my story, now look at that. My equation is going to make sense there. If I buy 1 pint, it's going to be 1 times 4. Now I can put in some labels here on my table So this is going to be pints of ice cream, and this here is going to be dollars. So now that we have that, we can also start to label our graph. Y-axis, our dependent axis here, our dependent variable, is going to be money. How much I spend depends on how much ice cream I buy. And so down here, my independent variable is going to be pints of ice cream. So you can see, if I buy 3 pints, it's going to be $12. Alright, and that's our first example. Let's try another example here. Our next example, we're going to try something a little interesting. We're going to do y is going to be equal to 7/5 x. Y is equal to 7/5 x. So I'm going to purposely pick a fraction here just to make things interesting. So again, let's go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to make my life easy. I'm going to do multiples of 5 after that. Notice my denominator there. So I'm going to do multiples of 5 to make my life easy. Now, if x is 0, then 7/5 times 0 is 0. If x is 1, 7/5 times 1 is 7/5. Or 1.4 if I did the division. 5 goes into 7 1.4 times. So now I'm just going to skip count here. It's going to be 14/5 or 2.8. 4.2. 5.6. I'm skip counting by 1.4. 1.4. 5 is going to be 7. 6 is going to be 8.4. I'm skip counting by 1.4s. 7 is going to be 9.8. 8 is, I believe, is 11.2. 9 is 12.6. And 10 is going to be 14, which makes sense because 5 was 7. 15 is going to be 21. 20 is 28. 25 is 35. And 30 is 42. So, you could have done this with fractions and just skip counted by 7s up here. So, it'd be like 14/5, 21/5. I mean, you could do that as well. I just chose to do it in decimals. The reason I did that is because on the graph, it's going to make my life quite a bit easier. So, when I graph this, I have 0, 0. So, I'm going to have a dot here at my origin. But I'm also going to have a dot, and what I find, it's really easy to just do these whole number ones. So I have 5 and 7, and I have 10 and 14 right there. 15 is going to go with 21. Making sure my eyes are lining these up here right. And the last one won't fit. Now, if you want, you can do 1 and 1.4. It's going to be halfway there. And you can do all the little steps. You can do that if you want. That totally will work. For the sake of time, I'm just going to show you that they're all going to lie right here on this line. So, when they lie on this line, that's our graph. The graph tells this table, which is also this equation. Now, again, we can make a story that goes with this. So we could just say apples are, what would that be, $7 for 5 pounds. And by doing that, our unit rate is going to be seen right here. Our unit rate is always going to be how much per one. So it's going to be 1 pound of apple, so pounds of apples. And our y-axis is going to be dollars. Our unit rate is going to be seen in how much is it for one thing. So our unit rate is always how much is it for one thing. And right there is our unit rate. It's also how much we skip count by. which you see here, which is also what you see in our equation. So our equation is giving us this table, which is giving us this graph, and it all comes from our story. They're all interrelated. So our big thing here is all four of these pieces are saying the same exact thing. Thank you guys. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.